All right, grab your popcorn and slap on your best zombie impression because this script just walked right out of the Wacky Wildlife edition of The Walking Dead. Before we delve into these mind-blowing animals that defy the usual after death, can you do me a quick favor? If this video piques your curiosity, smash that like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe for more wild discoveries. Oh, and a little nudge, there's some cool treasures and deals tucked away in the description. Intrigued? Let's dive deep. Whoa, slow your roll. Now, I've heard of running around like a headless chicken, but this dude Mike took it to a whole new level. Living for 18 months without a noggin? That's not just impressive, it's downright clucking legendary. Most of us can't function without our morning coffee, and here's Mike thriving on milk and water via an eyedropper. Sans head. He's like the OG of poultry persistence. Now, that's a name for the cluctionary. But let's not forget the farmer. Talk about bad aim, huh? He went for a clean chop and ended up creating a chicken superstar. You had one job, farmer bro. And then, our boy Mike choked on a corn kernel. After all that, it's like running a marathon and then tripping over your shoelace at the finish line. Bummer, dude. Okay, here's where things get all science-y. So, Dr. Console, who's probably the real-life Dr. Doolittle.
Who let Dr. Doolittle in?
Explains that the chicken brain is all sneaky, hiding up in the skull playing peekaboo. That's some next-level brain gymnastics. It's like Mike had a secret bunker up there. All right, strap in, my dudes. Just when you thought Mike the Headless Chicken was the ultimate comeback king, here comes the flatworm, ready to throw down the gauntlet. All right, first up, we've got the planarian, aka the flatworm. And let me tell you, these little squigglies are way cooler than their name suggests. You thought your cousin regrowing his beard after a disastrous trim was cool? This worm's like, hold my beer and watch this. Now, from the outset, the flatworm looks like the kind of critter you totally overlook. Like that one quiet kid in school who's secretly an expert hacker. Or maybe the flatworm equivalent of Spider-Man. But these worms are the real MVPs of the regeneration game. Imagine getting chopped in half and thinking, no biggie, I'll just grow myself back. That's this worm, every single time. If you split a flatworm, whether it's lengthwise, crosswise, or even diagonally for some avant-garde art piece, you don't get worm soup. Nah, you get two whole new worms ready to wriggle their way into your heart. And here's the kicker. No matter which part of it gets the old snip snip, the worm's just like, it's cool, I got spares. Be it their skin, their gut, or even their teeny tiny wormy brain. They got the equivalent of a lifetime membership to the body parts store. Flatworms are like the Lego sets of the animal kingdom, always ready with a replacement part. Why? Well, because they're kind of like the Xerox machines of the animal world. They duplicate their own cells faster than I can duplicate tabs when shopping online during a sale. Everywhere you look inside them, you'll find these cells that are like mini magical factories, just popping out whatever body part got lost. Basically, their insides are like an ongoing rave party of stem cells. And here's where things get absolutely bonkers. If you think about it, these critters might just pull off the ultimate cheat code, living forever. Like, not in a sparkly vampire way, but legit. Even if none of the OG worm is left, it still rocks on. The real wormy Highlander. All right, folks, dive in with me into the ocean depths where things get even tentacool. Or should I say tentacrazy. Now, we've got the octopus. These bad boys are like the Marvel superheroes of the deep blue. You know, 8 arms, 3 hearts. And the brains? Well, they're not just in their heads, they're sprinkled all over their tentacles too. Talk about multitasking. It's like each tentacle has its own mini-me of a brain, doing its own thing, whether it's feeling around, grabbing food, or sending the main brain some Morse code. Now, here's the crazy party trick. If you snip one of their tentacles off, that thing's still gonna wriggle and jiggle for up to an hour, even attempting to feed a ghostly mouth. Imagine if your arm tried to pick up a snack after being detached. Creepy, right? But also kind of awesome. This tentacle autonomy is all thanks to those neuron-loaded arms. Now, octopi aren't just about the fancy tricks. Just like our worm pals, they can regrow tentacles. Lose one in an underwater arm wrestling match? No problem. Give it some time and bam, it's back. But things take a turn on the dark side in some parts of the world. There's this dish called sun aki, where folks munch on those tentacles while they're still wriggling. And I thought my food was adventurous when I added some extra hot sauce. There are even daredevils who eat the entire octopus live. Now, I'm all for trying new foods, but that's a level of brave or bonkers I ain't touching. And here's where karma enters the chat. Munching on these tentacles ain't all fun and games. Those wriggling arms can literally choke a person. It's like the octopus's last stand, a final, you eat me, I'll take you with me move. Savage, right? If you ask any animal brainiac, they'll tell you, chopping an octopus bit by bit is just as cruel as, let's say, turning a rabbit into a three-legged hopper. It's not just seafood. It's a sentient being, dudes. So as delicious as it might seem to some, remember, it's not just a dish. It's a life. All right, fam, brace yourselves. From wriggly tentacles, we're now switching lanes to the slow and steady world of our shell-backed buddies. You guessed it, the OG of long lifespans, the turtle. So here's the lowdown. Turtles are basically the Gandalfs of the animal kingdom. These dudes and dudettes have been rocking the slow life for ages. And when I say ages, I mean they can chill around the earth for about as long as your dear old grandpappy. Yup, around 80 years. Talk about taking age as just a number to a whole new level. But here's where it gets wild. You think your heart's all cool because it pumps blood and plays DJ for your body's dance floor? Well, turtles can basically tell their hearts, hey buddy, take 5, I got this. Most marine animals, like those big old whales and cutesy seals, have a fancy system where their brain gets VIP oxygen treatment during dives. It's like a posh lounge, exclusive entry for the brain only. But turtles? Nah, they went full rebel. Their brains are like, oxygen? Pfft, who needs it? These rock stars can legit just chill, frozen in water, brain deprived of oxygen, and still be like, it's all good, I see y'all in spring. It's mind-blowing. Imagine going to sleep tonight and waking up months later like, oh, was that winter? My bad, must have missed it. Their circulatory system basically goes into super slow-mo mode, turning them into icy popsicles. It's like they have a built-in freeze tag mode. So, if you've ever stumbled upon a frozen turtle and thought it was auditioning for a role in a reptilian version of Sleeping Beauty, chill. It's not dead, it's just taking an extended frosty nap. And when the big thaw comes, they wake up, ready to celebrate life again. Ah, snakes. The original nope rope. From the Garden of Eden to every Indiana Jones flick, these slithering souls have been iconic. But our story today takes the cake, or should I say, takes the head. Picture this. Dude in Texas, probably in a cowboy hat, because why not, decides he's going to take care of a yard intruder, a 4-foot rattlesnake. No biggie, right? He's probably thinking, this ain't my first rodeo. So he goes full knight in shining armor mode and beheads the snake with a shovel. Now, in most stories, that would be the end. But not in the Twilight Zone of Texas. Just when our guy thinks he's won the snake showdown, plot twist! The severed head goes full zombie mode and clamps down on him. Talk about revenge from the grave, or decapitated head. This snake was on some next level, you may have won the battle, but you haven't won the war energy. That bite wasn't just a tiny oopsies. It was chock full of venom, enough to turn our cowboy hero into a damsel in distress. Fast forward through a whirlwind of helicopters, hospitals, and a gazillion doses of antivenom, and our dude is still on the recovery train a week later. This wasn't just any snake. It was a western diamondback rattlesnake, which is basically the Clint Eastwood of the snake world. Here's the gnarly bit. Many snakes, especially the hardcore predatory ones, can still react for up to an hour after getting decapitated. Imagine that, a literal snake-zombie hybrid. They might as well start their own Netflix show. It's like the snake's body is thinking, death? Pfft, I'll deal with that later. Right now, I got some biting to do. And this isn't limited to biting unsuspecting lawn warriors. These snake zombies can be so hardcore they sometimes bite their own bodies. It's like a reflex. See movement? Chomp down. You know how there's always that one kid in school who just won't give up? The kind who'll eat weird stuff for $1 or believe any dare is a challenge to their honor? Meet the cockroach, the ultimate hold-my-beer champion of the insect kingdom. You've probably heard the whole cockroaches will survive a nuclear apocalypse thing. And let me tell you, it ain't just some cool catchphrase for a post-apocalyptic video game. It's legit. These creatures have built themselves quite the reputation. If cockroaches had a yearbook, their superlative would probably be most likely to survive a nuclear war and outlive everyone. These hardy little creatures aren't just about surviving nukes, though. Want to hear some roach-tastic feats? They can play dead by holding their breath for a whopping 40 minutes. Longer than your Uncle Bob can hold a note during karaoke. They can also go on a hunger strike for weeks. And just when you thought that was the peak of their hardcoreness, get this. They can give a solid talk to the hand, or should I say leg, vibe to death for a staggering 10 weeks without a head. But eventually hunger strikes because, munching without a mouth is a tad challenging. The resilience of these little buggers is honestly jaw-dropping, or should I say head-dropping. Picture scientists in the 60s, surrounded by beakers, looking all serious, studying a headless cockroach trying to dodge electric shocks. It's like the cockroach body is shouting, "Who needs a brain to learn? Not me!" This mini marvel is a walking, headless testament to adaptability and survival. It's as if evolution looked at the cockroach and went, "You, yes, you get all the survival tricks." Hold up, wait a minute, a headless toad? Bro, did he get a discount on life for missing some key features? And what's up with scientists being stumped by it? That's some next level dad joke material right there. Nose job? LOL. Maybe the toad just wasn't a fan of plastic surgery. But for real, can you imagine being a toad with no face? Like, how do you get toad ladies with no smooth croaking game? So what I'm hearing is that toads are the original superheroes? Captain America's super soldier serum got nothing on this dude. Bro, these frogs are out here living their best life without a brain. Makes me wonder about some people I know. Also, the next party trick, telling people that frogs back in the day were the OG zombies. So, the 1800s German dude was like, "Hey, forget your big brain ideas, it's all about that spine life." Puts a whole new spin on having backbone, doesn't it? All right, fam, that's a wrap on this wild nature ride. Who knew the animal kingdom was serving up so much tea? Stay wild, y'all.